is lead. I'm going to talk about two things, two aspects of leads. Okay. And the first aspect of leads, Ron Powell, if you guys know, have been, I would say probably every single time in the last 10 years that I've known Ron Powell, every single time that he got up in front of the stage, what did he talk about, y'all? Leads. And he talked about how he was able to predict his income and his production by how many leads he worked every single week. Isn't that right? Every single time that he gets up on the stage, he talks about leads. Why? Well, if y'all are wondering what the secret is to success, because that's what these calls are all about, man. I want to know, what are the winners doing? What is Rachel doing? What's Bianca doing? What's David doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? They're working as many leads as possible. That's what they're doing. As many leads as possible. Folks, you cannot win in this business without leads. Maybe 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, I don't know. But today, November 2022, you don't have a chance to win in this business without leads. And we got to look at it as that you don't have to buy leads, that you get to buy leads. The company that I left, I was a field agent, and the closest leads that they had when I left was almost 8 hours away from my home. Believe that. 8 hours away was the closest leads that I had to work. And I was thick-headed. I didn't work those leads. I scraped together what they had locally and just whatever, and working old stuff and knocking on doors. And man, my life was miserable. And when I came to Senior Life, I was so fired up because they had so many leads. It was everything that I ever wanted. And me, along with a few others in the beginning, went on 20 leads a week autopilot. And what that means is we got 20 leads a week no matter what. It didn't make a difference if we were sick, if something came up, if we had to go out of town. Because guess what? If I was sick all this week, that means that I missed a week of working, which means next week, what do I got to do? I got to make up for it. And if I was getting 20 leads a week, just say that was my number back then. I don't think that's enough today, personally, 20 leads a week, because I think you could work that in about a day or two, but especially on the phone. But back then, 20 was the number. So if I was getting 20 leads a week and I was sick one week, or I went out of town on vacation for a week, I got to now work 40 leads the next week to make up for that week that I've missed, right? I don't just stop taking leads. I got to go harder. I got to get more leads. I got to keep getting those leads. So we all went on autopilot. Lionel's still on autopilot. I don't think Lionel has placed a lead order in 10 years. I don't think Blake has placed a lead order in over 6 years or however long he's been here. And so many others, guys, so many others. But just as an example, they just kind of come to my head, first. And they're on autopilot. And their production is consistent. And they've gotten better over the years. So I guess my whole thing is what I'm getting at is I wish when I was starting off in this business that I had someone to say, Doug, you're getting 20 leads a week. It don't make a difference what you say. I wish somebody showed me that road because I didn't know well enough myself to go ahead and do that, mainly because of fear. That was probably the biggest thing. We all know that the secret to success is working leads. We all know that. It's not a secret, but we may not want to admit it because it's a little bit scary, right? That, oh my God, if I get all these leads, all this debt, or if I get all these leads, it's going to cost so much money. What if I don't close? Folks, what if you close? What if it goes great? We got to stop looking at things as I have to and that I get to. So moving forward, folks, if you're full-time with us and you're an agent here at Senior Life in the Blake Group, first off, I want to apologize for not doing this sooner, but everybody will be getting and required to work 20 leads every single week because that's what it takes to win. I don't care how you get those leads. Get them off Leads the Way, order them, work direct. It doesn't make a difference, but everybody will be working 20 leads every single week at minimum because that's what it takes to win, and we want to be winners, don't we? So moving forward, guys, we're going to start getting a lot of leads, and don't worry about it. I'm sure a lot of you guys are scared. Don't worry about it. Y'all scared. Guess what? Your uplines, me, David, Donaldo, Sheena, Bianca, I'm missing people, but everybody, we're all here to help you guys win. So it's okay that you're scared. It's okay that you're like, oh my God, Doug, you're crazy. Yes, I am. I'm very crazy. And I'm so crazy that we're going to do this and we're going to have some fun doing it. And every one of our leaders in the Blake group, we're going to help you. We're going to help you win. And I've been letting you guys down because I haven't been doing this, and we should have been doing this for a very, very long time, because this is what it takes to win. And I want to share some numbers with you guys, which is just kind of crazy. So let's just say if you personally, well, first, let me blow your mind for just a minute. So we're doing $1.6 million a month in production, more or less, right? I looked in Telegram this morning. There's 900 people in Telegram in the Blake group chat. If every single agent that's in Telegram, and the only reason you be in Telegram is because you're an agent with us, got 20 leads a week, that's 18,000 leads in 1 week. On $150 premium per lead is $2.7 million a week. A week. That's over $10 million in 1 month. If every single agent just got 20 leads this week. And $150 premium per lead, guys. I'm like, what does that mean, Doug? That means for each lead, Ron also said on that stage that each lead had a value to him. And that value is $150. Now, some people's is a little bit better. Some people's is a little bit worse. But on average, that's $150 is about where you're going to be at. When Bianca broke the record for most production in 1 week, she was right around $200 premium per lead. But on $150 premium per lead, on an average of a $60 monthly premium, guess how many sales that is out of 20 leads? 3. 3 sales. Out of 20 leads, if you just make 3 sales, you're profitable. And if you take 20 leads on $150 premium per lead, you'll write $3,000 this week. And if you do it 4 weeks in a row, you'll write 12. If you take 30 leads this week and you write at $150 premium per lead, that means you wrote 6 policies, 4,500 or 18,000 for the month. That sounds good, don't it? 40 leads a week, $150 premium per lead. That's 9 apps, 6,000 in personal production for the week, 24,000 for the month. 50 leads this week, 7,500 in premium, times 4, 30,000 for the month. Now you just reached Rachel Boatwright territory and Bianca territory and so many other territories of all the other top producers. Now everyone's looking at you, and all you're doing is writing 3 apps for every 20 leads that you're getting. Do y'all think you can write 3 apps for every 20 leads that you're getting? It's not that hard. It's hard if you don't work the leads. It's hard if you don't plug into our conference calls. It's hard if you don't lean on your manager. It's hard if you don't role play. It's hard if you don't pick up that phone and dial. It's hard if you don't knock on that door first thing at 9 a.m. Me and Ron were joking because we were talking about this till midnight the other night in his office, and we were gonna, we were joking around, but we were gonna, when you call the home office and it says press 1 if you're an agent, press 2 if you're a policyholder. Well, we were gonna make that a little bit deeper and says if you press 1 for an agent, it's gonna go to another series of prompts and it's gonna ask you, did you take 20 leads last week? Press 1. If you didn't, press 2. And when you press 2, it says, sorry, no one's available right now. Please call back when you take 20 leads. And we were just joking. Of course, we never do that. But, it takes that at least to win, guys. 20 leads. That book that we're reading with Eric Thomas, what's the title of it? Anyone know?
You owe you.
Say it again.
You owe you.
You owe you, and you owe your family, guys, to do this, to make it happen, because y'all didn't come here to be losers. Y'all came here to be winners. Didn't you? And every single person, 104 people on this call right now, y'all came here to be winners. Y'all came here to be millionaires. And thank God that you had people like myself and David and Lionel and so many others that we already figured out all this mess of what you got to do. It's already done. Now it's time to do what the winners are doing. Okay? So some of y'all are going to get some leads in your portal. You'll be like, where did these come from, guys? This is a blessing to go ahead and get off on the right foot and start making it happen today. Don't worry that it's Thanksgiving. Go out there and sell some insurance. Black Friday, go make it happen. Saturday, go make it happen. Sunday, go make it happen, guys. Don't let these holidays hold you back. People are nicer. And if they're mean to you, say, you're not going to be mean to me on Thanksgiving, are you? It's Christmas time, Miss Jones. You can't be mean to me during Christmas. That's not allowed. Go have some fun. Go make it happen. But on leads, guys, I want to talk about that today because, really, I know the biggest reasons why people would, and if you have a problem with getting 20 leads a week, call your manager when we hang up this phone call. Call your manager at some point today and talk to them about it. But on that prospecting side of things, I wanted to talk about the different types of leads that we have because we all know, guys, the best quality lead is what? A live transfer TV lead. That's the best. And every other lead is a little bit different and requires maybe a little bit more nurturing. People may or may not be a little bit more guarded, but there's not a person out there, guys. What you have to do, folks, is you have to believe without a shadow of a doubt. And I believe without a shadow of a doubt that there's not one person in this world, let's eliminate the very, very, very small percentage of crazy people, right? We're eliminating them. There's not a person in the world that would call off one of our TV commercials that did not want to buy life insurance. There's not one person that would fill out a form on the internet and request a quote from Senior Life Insurance Company website that did not want to buy life insurance. Nobody would do that. Nobody would fill out that card if they didn't want to buy a policy, and nobody would go on Facebook if they didn't want to buy a policy. Nobody would open the yellow pages if they didn't want to buy a policy. Who in their right mind would do that? Again, we're taking out the small percentage of crazy nut job people that waste people's time, but they're out there. I get it. Eliminating them. Folks, we talked about 20 leads a week. You only have to close 3 of them. So 17 are going to give you a hard time. And maybe the 3 are also going to give you a hard time, right? But 17 out of 20, you're not going to close. But we can't worry about the 17 that we're not going to close. We have to stay focused on the 3 that we are going to close. So what are some things, folks, that we can do to break through that initial, that's not me, I didn't do it, I'm not interested no more, I already got it? What are we going to do with that stuff, guys? Because that's how you get to the next step. Because you can't fact find, you can't present, and you damn sure can't close if you can't get past that initial thing. And that's people's biggest fear in buying leads is not even getting that opportunity to do that presentation. Because I guarantee you guys, if I can somewhat guarantee you that every single lead that you purchase, you will connect with and you will get to do a presentation for, wouldn't you be much, much better about working leads? Or wouldn't your mind be a lot better if you knew that confidently? Of course it would. Of course you would. And that's where we got to get better. That's where you got to lean on all of us. That's where we got to seek out counsel from people that are doing better than us, like myself and like David and like Sheena and like Keith and Rachel and Bianca and everybody else. And we got to stop playing those little pity parties with the people that are just trying to find someone else that's broken like them. When we got to start reaching up to people that want to win and that are winning. And that's who we got to talk to. And that's who we got to seek out advice from. So to all my winners that are killing it right now, what are some of the things that you guys do and things that you guys say when someone's like, that's not me, I never did it, what are you talking about? I never called, that's not even me, he doesn't live here, he's been dead for 10 years, I already got insurance. What are you guys doing with all that stuff, guys? Help me out, winners. I need some winners to help us out, to tell everybody, what do they do when they get that nonsense, when they knock on that door or when they pick up that phone? Who wants to help out this morning?
I always just agree.
And how do we do that? Bianca, what are you talking about? That's not, I never filled out that card.
No, I totally understand, Mr. Doug. Look, I don't remember what happened yesterday, but it just takes about 5 minutes for me to go over the information. Let me just confirm your information. Your address is 126 Norcross Drive, Lafayette, Louisiana, right?
That doesn't work. Come on, be real. Stop lying, everybody, Bianca. It can't be that simple. You can't just ignore it and move forward. Come on.
Yes. Yes.
No,
It does work.
there's no
Most
way it works. It
Most,
can't work. It can't be that simple.
so most people that get like, I'm not,
I'm like, yeah.
no, but seriously, like most people that get that, they're like, okay, and then they hang up. Like that's what people are doing. They take what that person is saying as facts.
Mhm.
Like they saw the card or they're really not interested. And at the end of the day, it's a reactionary defense response. Like it's
There you
something
go.
that they're thinking about, they're just throwing out there. So if you just agree and keep moving, I mean, there's really nothing they can do unless they
Yeah.
hang up. You know?
Great point. I mean, Bianca, isn't it true that like the way that we prospect when we knock on somebody's door without an appointment or we call them up out of the blue, is it safe to say that we catch people off guard most of the time?
Absolutely.
So when someone catches you off guard, do you get a little rattled?
Yeah, of course.
Do you get a little nervous?
Yes.
Do you maybe say things that you wouldn't normally say because you get like flustered and you don't know what to do?
Yes.
Do you think that that's the same thing that happens to these people?
Yeah. And like, too, like I had to start putting myself in like these people's shoes, especially when you're calling people on the phone, like they're getting like 1,000 phone calls from telemarketers. So when they pick up the phone, like they're going to treat, even though they filled out the card or they request the information, they're going to treat you like you're a telemarketer.
Yeah.
And so,
But Bianca, I already got the information. I already talked to somebody.
yeah, I totally understand. But look, I'm a manager with Senior Life. I'm here to just go over the information, make sure that that agent gave you all the information that you need and to make sure we can get you the best discounts available. Okay. It just takes 5 minutes. If you don't like what I have to say, I'll hang up on myself.
But I'm not really interested though anymore.
I totally understand you're not interested. I wouldn't be interested either if I didn't have the information. So let me go over the information. It takes about 5 minutes. If you're not interested by the time I'm done, I'll hang up on myself.
But that wasn't even me that filled it out.
I totally understand. A lot of times that, I didn't really remember, but that's okay. Let me just go over the information with you. Again, if it's not beneficial for you, by the end of me going over the information, I'll hang up on myself.
But I already have a policy, so there's really no sense of talking.
I understand, Mr. Doug. 90% of our clients have a policy already. This just takes about 5-10 minutes, and we can actually help protect what you already have by discounting your final expenses 60 to 80%.
Well, I don't really have any time right now. I'm really, really busy. Judge Judy comes on in 5 minutes, and I can't miss that.
I totally understand, Mr. Doug. Normally this takes about 30 minutes, but I can shorten it down to about 5 minutes. Again, just so I can give you the information. If you don't like what I have to say by the end, I'll hang up on myself.
So basically what you're telling me, Bianca, is there's nothing that I'm going to say that's going to deter you from doing the presentation now.
Hell no.
Nothing that I can say is going to rattle you. And do you guys see how quick she was? Why do you think she was so quick? Because she practices every day. There's like, do you know that the reason why Bianca has the record for most production in a week and most production in a month is because she did more presentations than anybody has ever done before in a week and in a month. And she worked more leads than anybody has ever worked before in a week and in a month. Bianca, let's talk about that 1 week, the first time that you broke the record for most production in a week. Did you or did you not already have it exactly figured out to the almost penny of exactly what you were going to do, how many leads you're going to work, and how much business you were going to write?
Yes.
And if you remember exactly or close to it, I know it was a pretty long time ago, maybe you'll remember too, but what those kind of numbers were, like how many leads, what your premium per lead was, what you planned on writing before it started, like what were those numbers like?
So it was 200 leads, and I think we
Mhm.
figured out like $150 in premium per lead.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to break the record of 26,000, I think it was, or 27,000 in a week. And so I ended up writing 28,000 and some change. But like, I just want to say too, like, I honestly like went through and just found people that just wanted to buy insurance. Like I didn't really have to like struggle to close anybody. It was just, I had so many leads that I found people that just wanted to buy insurance. I was just going through, like, if they said they didn't, honestly, if they said they didn't want it, I was like, all right, on to the next,
Yeah.
you know?
So when I just did that math really quickly, 200 leads at $150 premium per lead is 30,000. And how much did you write that week the first time?
28,000.
So your premium per lead was less than what we're even talking about here. So Bianca Menard holds the record for most production in 1 week, and she wrote less than 3 applications for every set of 20 leads that she purchased. Tell me that doesn't blow your mind.
And then I worked those leads for weeks and months afterwards too. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, if you're going to do something like that, there's definitely no doubt that you just have to like run fast and catch all the low hanging fruit. And once you got through the low hanging fruit, then you come back and, nurture what you got to nurture. Right. And I know that Shingai was doing something very similar, and she did the same thing. She got, I forget how many leads she got 1 week when she was trying to write, I want to say 20,000 in a week, or I forget what it was, or maybe it was a monthly record. She was trying to break your record or something. I know she came really, really, really close. And, again, she had it all figured out, and she was just running for that low hanging fruit. And then once you get through all that, then you come back. And I used to do something very similar, and I get out there, I'd run. And when I got through running and I wrote my 3 or 4 or 5 apps for the week, then I had to go back. And then I'd, nurture that stuff a little bit more.
can I say something, Doug?
Absolutely not.
So I think I'm gonna say it anyway.
She don't care. See, she just ignores. She even ignores what I say. She don't matter. She's like, Doug, shut up.
I'll say it anyway. I also would say that, especially in like the first 5 seconds, like you have 5 seconds to where somebody's making a judgment whether or not they want to stay on the phone with you. So it's really important that it's not the lead, guys, it's you, right? And it's me. And you have to take full responsibility of why you're not closing more sales. Because I hear a lot of people that, like, in the beginning, like, they sound like a telemarketer. They're like, Miss Jones, hey, this is so-and-so with Senior Life. I'm calling, like, I wouldn't want to stay on the phone with me either, right? Mm-hmm. And so record yourself, like, work on your greeting, because that's like the most important part of the conversation is the greeting. Like, you have 5 seconds to capture their attention and make them want to stay on the phone with you. So if you're having people hang up on you or having people say, I'm not interested or I didn't do that, like, look at your greeting. Like, how do you sound when you're calling somebody on the phone, right? Do you sound like a telemarketer? Because if you do, that may be why you're getting a lot of, I'm not interested, I didn't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, and I'll even kind of piggyback on top of that and saying that the ums and the pausing and the being unsure of what you're saying and the uncertainty in your voice kind of beats you up before you even get started. Don't you think, B? I mean, if you're calling something, you're like, hey, Bianca, this is Doug from Senior Life, and no one wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
Get your greeting down. Get it down, guys. Drill it. Rehearse it. More of the story of today's call is, I'll go back to what Mr. David Price said a long, long time ago, and I don't think we say it enough anymore. And is if you want to be a millionaire. Hold on. Gotta mute somebody. He says that if you want to be a millionaire, I'll let David say it. David, I don't know if you're on the plane, David, yet or what, but can you say it if you want to be a millionaire? What?
I said, if you want to be a millionaire, you better start acting like it.
That's right. And what do you mean by that, buddy?
So what I realize is you don't become a millionaire and then start acting like it. You got to change your habits. You got to change your mindset. You got to change things you do. And when you change all those things you do, well, then the money starts flowing, right? Then the results start flowing, and then you become a millionaire. So you want to practice having habits as a millionaire and doing things millionaires do. If you study millionaires, you study the things they do every single day, and you start doing those things, like, your life's going to change. And I'm proof of that.
100%. Guys, let's start acting like millionaires. Let's start doing what winners do. We have so many winners and so many winning examples. Reach up to your manager. Reach out to the top producers. Never, ever, ever, ever reach down to anybody. Always reach up. Let's make 2023, guys, the best year of your lives. And it starts right now by finishing 2022 strong. We need that momentum. Don't let the holidays get in the way. I think Christmas falls on a weekend, which is phenomenal. You know, a Saturday or a Friday or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look at a calendar, but something like that.
It's a Sunday.
Sunday, even better. Christmas Eve is on a Saturday. Christmas Day is on a Sunday. Christmas and New Year's doesn't even mess anything up this year. Don't let it happen to you. What's up, Keith?
Good morning. Good morning. One of the things I was just thinking about, when you have to push, leads on people, and it has to be that elephant, as you said earlier, if a person knew that every lead that they got, that a person that they will talk to someone or they will make a sale, asking people to get leads we wouldn't have a problem with that. I think the fear of people don't have confidence in themselves.
Correct.
In their selling techniques to know that, well, I know I can't sell these leads. And I think that's one of the main problems, that people aren't confident in their techniques, which means that you should be reaching out and getting additional training in your sales techniques, that you will have the confidence to run the leads, because this is a lead-based business. In order for you to make money, you have to know how to sell the leads, and then to get the leads. I mean, it's not an a la carte type of business. Talent can only get you so far. Warm market can only get you so far. You have to know how to work the leads and to have the confidence to work the leads. And I think that's one of the main things, that people have to truly raise their hands and, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I want to get the leads, but I don't want to get all of these leads and I don't make any sales and I get all of this debt. And so we have to be able to, first, you as the individual agent have to raise your hand, and have to get some training and get stuff done for how to work these leads.
Absolutely. And this is why it's so important to follow that last step of our sales system, which is to call your manager a lot, and it's very important too, to report production on a weekly basis. So that way we know who to help, But Keith, let me ask you a question. You can speak on behalf of you and Sheena. If any one of your agents came to you and said, Keith, Sheena, man, I'm struggling. I'm behind on lead debt. I don't know what I'm doing. I just can't get right with these leads. Are you going to help them?
Absolutely.
And I'll ask the same thing to Bianca and David and Jennifer and Ramon and any other manager in the Blake Group and Donaldo and everybody. If anybody on your team came to you, just like Keith was describing, and raised their hand and say, hey, I need some help, I guarantee you that they will help every single last one of you make that money, make those sales, make those presentations, get better at your craft, train with you, role play with you, do whatever it takes, guys. We got managers willing to go in cars and ride out with people. I see Jen and Bianca doing it all the time. We got the virtual call center where you literally get the chance to be around the most winningest people in all of America every single day and get advice from them, and have private chat breakout rooms to go spend some one-on-one time, with whatever manager that you want, so he or she can help you. So if you're not in town locally, next to Keith can jump on the VCC. Y'all can go into a breakout room and he can work with you one-on-one and help polish your craft and get you better at leads. But you can't be scared to go work. You can't be scared to go ask for some help. We're all here to help you. And I love what Sheena just said, and we'll end with that note, which is to take advantage and not take our system and what we have for granted. There's literally, you guys, the ones that are recruiting would agree with me. The ones that don't really know this yet. But do you know the biggest complaint that I get from other agents looking at Senior Life is where they're currently at? They don't have any leads. And there's no consistency in them. And they can't guarantee and predict how many leads that them and their team is going to get. When David came to work with me and we partnered together years ago, and you've all heard this story a bunch of times. What was he asking me? Do you have enough leads, Doug? If I want to build a huge business, will there be enough leads for all my people every single week? And all these years later, and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars of production, we've never went 1 week without providing every single lead or every single agent all the leads that he or she needed to be successful. And we have that here. So don't take that for granted, guys. We have a phenomenal system with a phenomenal opportunity. Folks, let's win. Let's start acting like millionaires. Let's make it happen. And most importantly, guys, let's have some fun while we do it. Folks, I hope all of you have a great and very, very, very happy Thanksgiving. Again, say a prayer for me and I'll blow up the block. I appreciate all that you do. Thank you all so, so very much.